I want you to imagine for a moment that abundance is not something you have to chase, that it is not hiding from you, punishing you, or playing some elaborate cosmic game of hide and seek where you are permanently it. I want you to imagine that abundance, real, genuine, overflowing abundance in every area of your life, in your finances, your relationships, your health, your joy, your sense of purpose, is actually your natural state. That you were not born into scarcity, you were born into possibility. And somewhere along the way, through no fault of your own, you simply picked up a set of beliefs that made you forget that. What if everything we are going to talk about today is not about adding something new to your life, but about removing what has been blocking what was always meant to be yours? Stay with me, because this conversation might be the one that changes everything. Now, before we dive in, I want to acknowledge something real. If you clicked on a video about aligning your energy with abundance, there is a very good chance that abundance does not feel particularly aligned with you right now. I mean that in the specific, quiet, almost embarrassing way that financial stress actually feels. The way you smile and say you are fine when someone asks how things are going, while internally you are doing increasingly creative mental mathematics about which bill gets paid first this month. The way you scroll past other people's success stories, feeling a confusing mixture of inspired and vaguely defeated. The way you want things, genuinely deeply want things, and then immediately feel guilty for wanting them as if desire itself is somehow greedy or ungrateful or unrealistic for someone like you. I know that feeling. I have lived inside that feeling. And I want you to know today that none of it means what you think it means. It does not mean you are failing. It means you have been operating at a frequency that does not match what you are trying to receive. And frequency, unlike your past or your circumstances or your bank balance, is something you can actually change. Starting today. Starting right now. So let us talk about what energy alignment actually means, because I am aware that it can sound like the kind of thing people say while burning expensive candles and wearing linen, and while I have nothing against expensive candles or linen, I want to give you something more practical and more grounded than vibes and wishful thinking. Here is the truth underneath the language. Everything in your life right now is a reflection of your dominant beliefs and your dominant emotional state. Not your conscious wishes, not what you say you want, but what you actually believe deep in your subconscious is true about you and about what you deserve and about how the world works. This is not mystical. This is psychological. This is neuroscience. Your beliefs shape your perceptions, and your perceptions shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. The outer world is always a printout of the inner world, always, without exception. And until you change what is happening on the inside, you can work yourself into the ground on the outside and still end up in the same place, wondering why nothing is changing. Here is a way to think about it that I find both illuminating and slightly humbling. Imagine your life is a radio, and abundance is a station broadcasting constantly, clearly, without interruption, 24 hours a day. It never goes off air. It is never not available. The music is playing right now. The question is not whether the station exists. The question is whether your radio is tuned to it. Most of us, without knowing it, have our dials set somewhere else entirely. We are tuned to the station called There Is Never Enough, or People Like Me Do Not Get to Have That. And we wonder why we cannot hear the abundance music. We are simply not on the frequency. And the only way to change what you are receiving is to change where you are tuned. So how do you actually do that? How do you retune a radio that has been stuck on the same station for decades? I am going to give you 4 practices, and I want you to know that none of them are complicated, but all of them require your genuine participation. You cannot think your way into alignment. You have to feel your way there. And that distinction is everything. The first practice is what I call the abundance audit. Most of us, when we think about abundance, immediately go to what we do not have. The money that is not in the account. The relationship that has not arrived. The health that has not returned. And while those gaps are real and valid, the act of focusing on them exclusively keeps you tuned precisely to their frequency. So the abundance audit is this. Every single morning before you touch your phone, before you let the world in, find 5 things that are already abundant in your life right now. Not what you wish was abundant. What already is. The air filling your lungs. The roof over your head. The fact that you have eyes to watch this video. 5 things. Every morning. Not as a performance of gratitude, but as a genuine retuning of your attention toward what is already working. Because where attention goes, energy flows. The second practice is cleaning up your language around abundance. Notice how many times in a day you say things like, I cannot afford that. Money is so tight. I am terrible with finances. Every single one of those statements is an instruction to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind does not understand sarcasm or venting. It hears everything as a direct command and gets to work making it true. So we are going to start interrupting that pattern, not by lying to yourself, but by choosing more expansive and more accurate language. Instead of, I cannot afford that, try, that is not where I am choosing to put my money right now. Instead of, money is so tight, try, I am actively creating more flow in my finances. Small shift, enormous differences over time. These new patterns of speech become new patterns of belief, and new patterns of belief become new realities. The third practice is releasing your hidden blocks, and this is where the real work lives. Most people who struggle to align with abundance are not struggling because they do not want it enough. They are struggling because somewhere deep in their belief system, wanting abundance feels dangerous. Maybe you grew up watching money cause conflict, and your nervous system learned to associate wealth with threat. Maybe you absorbed the belief that wealthy people are greedy or fundamentally different from you. Maybe you were told so many times that you were not smart enough or disciplined enough that your nervous system learned to sabotage success as a way of staying safely within the identity you were given. These blocks are real. They are not personal failings. They are protective mechanisms that made sense once and no longer serve you. The way to release them is not to fight them, but to name them. Understand where they came from. Thank them for their service and consciously choose a new belief to replace them. What do you actually want to believe about money? About your worthiness to receive it? write those new beliefs down. Say them out loud. Repeat them until they start to feel more true than the old ones. Because they are more true. They always were. The fourth and final practice is taking aligned action every single day. And I want to be very clear about this because I believe in you too much to let you use energy alignment as an excuse to wait for the universe to drop abundance on your doorstep while you sit beautifully in meditation. The inner work and the outer action are partners. They are not alternatives to each other. Once you have started shifting your frequency, you have to move. You have to apply for the opportunity. You have to have the financial conversation you have been avoiding. You have to start the project, make the call, send the proposal. Aligned action is action taken from a place of genuine belief in your own worthiness, rather than frantic, desperate energy. It feels different, it produces different results, and it is available to you right now. Here is what I want you to do before you close this video. Pick one of these 4 practices and commit to it for the next 7 days. Just one. The abundance audit, the language cleanup, the block release, or one aligned action taken today from a place of genuine self-belief. One practice, 7 days. And then come back to the comments and tell me what shifted, because something will shift. It always does when you decide you are finally worth the energy it takes to align with the life you were always meant to be living. You are not separate from abundance. You never were. You are simply remembering your way back to it. And I am so deeply honored to be part of that journey with you. If this video opens something up in you today, please give it a like and share it with one person who needs to hear that they are worthy of more. Subscribe, because we have so many more of these conversations ahead, and each one goes deeper and gives more. And drop a comment below telling me which practice you are starting today and what abundance truly means to you.